All right. My name is Chris Campbell. I'm a practice PA and I work with small businesses and individuals to help them pay the least amount of taxes possible while keeping them out of jail. Today, I wanted to talk about some philanthropic efforts. Hopefully I pronounced that. So I was recently tasked from a client to do some research on some philanthropic or a nonprofit activities. So this particular client works with a number of nonprofits, and their goal or their mission, so to speak, is to secure and obtain affordable housing. So we're talking, and they're telling me some of the methods that's been used or what they're hearing about methods that are used for folks to secure properties. And one method that's being used through these nonprofit efforts is that nonprofits are purchasing land, purchasing properties, and then transferring them to respective owners. But the problem that they're facing is that they're purchasing these properties and they are transferring to other owners merely as a way to maintain affordable housing. So it's a philanthropic effort, really no money that's being involved. No one's doing this for a for-profit gain. The problem that's being presented is that these properties are now being transferred into for-profit LLCs. And that creates a problem because most folks that are owning these LLCs aren't aware that the transfer into these LLCs, which are for-profit entities, creates a taxable event. So the problem that we're facing here is that it's a philanthropic effort, but it's being conducted within a for-profit entity, which is the LLC. So I looked a little bit more into it, and I think it was just a matter of folks not necessarily being educated as far as what would be the best way to do this. So what would be the best way to do it? So what's looking to be achieved here, and if you happen to find yourself in a similar situation where you want to create affordable housing for folks, there's two things that you can look at. There's what's called charitable land trusts, and there's also called mutual homeowners association. And both of these are considered non-for-profit, and they are created for the exclusive purpose of controlling either land, which is charitable land trust, and or properties. So I've seen where land trusts do control some properties, but the land trust is really more so for the land itself, and not necessarily the buildings that are on the land. But if you want to do more so properties, then you may want to look at the MHAs, which is the Mutual Homeowners Association. Great way to control properties, and it's nonprofit. And with these mutual homeowners associations, there are two ways to go about doing it. So there's your integrated model and your federated model. So the integrated model is essentially the association owns the property. So what they may do is have the properties in their possession. Usually it's done through donations. And then they would determine the rules of the board and who can live there and the profitability. Usually these are set up in an effort to control gentrification and keep housing prices affordable. So once it's within this nonprofit entity, the board can then control as far as pricing, ability to sell the property, and so on and so forth. That can be from an integrated model. But if you're also looking at a federated model, where if you have this nonprofit and if you don't necessarily have the resources to own actual outright properties, you may work with other homeowners associations or co-ops or tenants, but you are providing your expertise and resources and guidelines to help keep said properties affordable. So there's a couple ways that you can approach it and look at it. So those are two models that you may want to take a look at for charitable purposes. And just to touch a little bit with the land trust, again, usually that works is the land itself is put into a trust, and the buildings that are on the land, the owners would still own the building, but not the land. So normally in those instances, the land trust rents out the land to the homeowners, usually for nominal. But again, the idea is to keep prices down, keep the area affordable. So those are two things. Charitable land trust and mutual housing associations in a nutshell can be a great tool if you are looking to be philanthropic involved in real estate. So, quick lesson on that. I hope this helped. So, if you have any more questions about this topic or any other topic, yeah, feel free to reach out. Happy to help. All right. That's all for now. And I'll talk to you in the next one.